Good evening and welcome to the Monday, September 26th Administration and Public Works Committee meeting. My name is Alderman Peter Braithwaite, and we'll go ahead and get the meeting starting. We have enough for quorum. Is there a motion to approve the regular meetings from September 12th? Second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Perfect. Items for consideration, item A1. Before we get started, has everyone had an opportunity to review the bills list? Questions? Okay, seeing none. Alderman Miller, would you like to take item A1 and A2, please?
Move approval of the payroll for the City of Evanston in the amount of, through September 4th, 2016, in the amount of $2,815,625.53, and the bills for through September 27th, 2016, in the amount of $3,286,013.25.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Questions? Comments? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Alderman Rainey, would you like to take item 3.1?
Absolutely. We're being asked to recommend to the council approval of a purchase and installation of recording studio equipment at the, listen to this, Dolores A. Holmes Recording Studio in the Gibbs Morrison Cultural Center from Gand Sound Installations. This is in the amount of $23,223.11. In April of 2016, Northwestern University donated $25,000 to Gibbs Morrison to purchase this equipment and instruments to outfit the studio. The studio will be named the Dolores A. Holmes Recording Studio at Northwestern University's request. I move approval.
Second.
All right, it's been properly moved and seconded. I believe we have a speaker on this item, Mr. Gibbs. You signed up to speak on this? Yes, sir.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I acted surprised because I don't think my name was the first one, and I'm somewhat out of breath because I was trying to get here to speak about this this development with the recording studio. Music has been my life for more than 55 years, being born and raised here in Evanston. And I just had one of the sons of Donald Gibbs, of Thomas Gibbs. Donald Gibbs is in town from Ohio. And I was telling him what a fantastic development this is. And he, of course, said to thank the city of Evanston for bringing this about, and of course to thank Northwestern for stepping up and providing much needed financing to get that off the road. We wanted to congratulate Dolores Holmes for them naming that particular area after her. Tireless worker, and glad to see you're up and around, and even if you're moving slow, good to be moving. Some folks is not doing that, and so we wanted to say thank you for your effort and what's going on. Myself personally, since I had come back from Southern California working in the music industry, I've looked for especially recording facility in the community, in the neighborhood, that I could go to work every day and work on music and bring in entertainers that I know from around the area, and some of the family that is actively working with people like Aretha Franklin and that kind of thing for the last 10 years. And we were looking at being able to do something in the community. What stands out most is that as a 7-year-old kid, I cut my teeth right there in that gas station. singing with my father and his brothers and their brothers and various other family members and other community members, where that gas station was a rehearsal place, was a gathering place that Thomas Gibbs made available for his nephews and relatives and community. And now to have this recording facility gives the opportunity to maybe create some history that will bring an income consistently there. That's one of the things I was looking forward to do, is to be able to wake up every day and be able to go right in my neighborhood and record and work on things and sell it, and then bring in artists that I know throughout the music industry and stuff, and use that as a little showplace. And of course, Evanston has a history of musicians that are still known as top-of-the-line artists in the jazz industry, the rhythm and blues industry. And what a great thing to be able to use that place and the facility to make others aware that the Fifth Ward has something of value, and to give the future, the children, the opportunity to take part and build something. Build something in the Fifth Ward other than what we may know that exists now. You know, let's create some love and build some things that we all can rally around one another for something constructive and positive. That's what I really was looking to do with that, and to keep myself busy. And I'd like to say thank you to the city of Evanston. And once I have the opportunity, I will also say thank you to Northwestern University for that philanthropic thing that they've done, and to show that something constructive and positive is going to happen out of it. So I just want to say thank you. I'll get out of your way. Thank you.
You're not in our way. Thank you very much for sharing those words, and congratulations to Alderman Holmes. Would you like to say something?
Just want to say to Mr. Gibbs, I want you to just turn around looking back at you. That's Mr. Hemingway, whom I told you to speak with.
Mr. Hemingway.
That's Mr. Hemingway. Okay. So that'll be the contact for you.
Thank you.
No,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Alderman Miller?
I'm just wondering real quick if Alderman Holmes has any plans to record anything.
Alderman Miller, no, I don't. And I want you to know, I did say that to Northwestern, that there are many, many, many Evanstonians that I grew up with and that were before my time and that even came after me, who are famous and came out of that community that it should be named after. But it's their money. They do what they want to do with it.
I just want you to know that I'll be the first to buy your single if you record it.
Well, I don't know. Maybe Mr. Gibbs will help me and we'll record something and I'll send it back to you on the council.
Congratulations, Alderman Holmes. It's been properly moved, and we did have a second on 3 Yes, it's been moved and seconded. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right, motion carries. Alderman Holmes, would you like to take item 3.2?
Yeah. Let me get it. I just have to get myself together here. Change order number 2 to agreement with, is that Covelic Construction Company for the Church Street boat ramp. There is no change in the project cost. Funding is provided from the capital improvement program. It's modifying the completion date to December 31st, 2016. The project was budgeted at $670,000 in 2015, and there's $470,000 in the account for 16127 and $200,000 in the account for 16458. So it doesn't involve any dollars. Move approval.
Is there a second? Second. Okay, it's been moved and seconded. All those, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, item 3.3 is a change order number 2, amending the shoulder and shouldering for the 50/50 sidewalk replacement project. That's in the dollar amount of $17,501. It increases the contract price from $264,000 to $215,000 and $660 to the contract amount to $233,000 and $161. That's for action. Is there a second?
Second.
All right. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Alderman Nguyen, 3.4.
Yes, thank you. This is, staff recommends that we approve a change order number 4 to the agreement with Nesco Electric Company for Police Fire Headquarters Data Center Emergency Construction Services.
Is there,
This increases the contract to from $159,708 to $171,082.
okay, it's been moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Oh, that's what I'm sorry, my apologies. Alderman Miller?
Dave or Laura, do you want to answer this? Just a quick question about this. So we actually haven't purchased the portable generator yet, right? So is that going to be coming at a future time? And what's the estimated cost on that? This is just for kind of to retrofit it in a sense to make it compatible with another generator, right?
That's correct. The police fire headquarters actually has a generator that is permanently installed, but it needs maintenance, and in order for there to be a temporary generator installed while the permanent generator is taken offline for maintenance, we're putting in this connection.
We have a backup generator though already, or is there going to be we're going to see another request?
We have a backup generator at the service center, which would most likely work for this application, but is perhaps undersized for providing backup power to the service center data center. And so we're working to investigate that to make sure that generator is appropriately sized for the service center. So there may be another request coming along, but the police fire headquarters should be fine.
Okay, just a guesstimate. Do you have an idea if we do have to go out for another generator, how much it would cost?
We were looking at around $50,000 to $75,000.
And Mr. Chair, members of the committee, I would just like to add that the generator that we are using right now is being rented, and so we are trying to purchase a permanent one. So the load testing here and other testing will allow us to appropriately size whatever we're permanently purchasing. So you will see that purchase before the end of the year.
Okay. Are there any other questions? Ready to vote? All those in, Alderman Rainey?
Oh, I forgot, I didn't.
Yeah.
We've had chronic electrical issues there?
Is that a question or a
Yeah.
statement?
No, I
Question,
meant.
staff?
Mr. Chair, members of the committee, I wouldn't say that they've been chronic. I would say that the
Telephone.
initial electrical problems that we had occurred earlier in the spring, and that's when we started working on this project, and it's sort of evolved. We did put away some money in next year's CIP, which is yet to be approved, to do a study on this data center to make sure that it is going to be long-term reliable and look for other improvements that may need to be made to it. But for right now, with the improvements that have been made as a result of this project, we're pretty comfortable with what has been done as far as the electrical, and we feel it's very reliable at this point.
Alderman Miller?
Just to follow up, Erica, as far as next year's CIP, are we looking at using the emergency telephone funds for that, or is it going to be in the normal capital budget?
It will be part of the normal capital budget because the E911 funds are not robust at this time due to the way that the funding to that fund has been done at the state level.
Okay. All right, it's been moved and seconded. All those in favor of passing item A 3.4, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries. Were we on item 3.5?
Right, I'll do both.
Okay, thank you.
We're being asked to recommend to the council 2 agreements. Agreement with District 65 for road salt, and that would be sale of road salt in the amount of $56.33 per ton for the period of November 15 through April 15, 2017. 10% administrative and handling fee will be added. This price reflects a $20.38 decrease. I'm going to move approval of that one, and approval for an agreement with 202 for road salt. It's a similar agreement. I'll read it, though. District 202 for the sale of road salt in the amount of $56.33 per ton for the same period, November 15 through April 15, 2017. This includes also a 10% administrative and handling fee. Price reflects also a $20.38 decrease in price as the overall price of salt has decreased. I'll move approval of that one also.
Second.
All right, it's been moved and seconded. All those in favor of passing A 3.5 and item A 3.6, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Alderman Holmes, item A 3.7.
Yes, sir. A3.7, purchase of tree and planting services for fall planting from Suburban Tree Consortium. Staff is recommending that the City Council approve the purchase of 70 trees and planting services for 75 trees from Suburban Tree Consortium in the amount of $32,191.60. This is budget. This comes out of the Forestry Division budget. The budget line item is the budget item is $90,000, which is used both for spring and fall planting season. The second source of funding is from the Replant Express program. This program allows residents to pay $250 to be added to our planting list immediately rather than waiting for 2 years, which is typically take time to replace a tree. There are 23 additional trees being planted through this program, which generated $5,750 in payments. The third source is from donations to the I Heart Evanston Tree Fund, which has generated $5,147 so far in 2016. Move approval.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded. Director Stonebeck.
Good evening, Chair and members of the committee. Dave Stonebeck, Public Works Agency Director. I want to make a correction on that memo. It should be 145 trees that are being purchased, not 70. So we're purchasing 145 and they're planting 75.
Okay.
Sorry for the confusion.
Okay.
So it's 70 and 75 added together.
We're purchasing 145
Right, it's-
and they're going to plant 75 of them and we're going to plant the other 70.
I was just getting ready to ask that
Right,
question,
but
too. like
it's
why we
the
were-
two numbers together that we're purchasing, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was.
Right.
But they're only planning 75.
Okay. So we have that edit for later on?
And got it.
Okay, perfect. It's been moved and seconded. Any questions or comments?
Well, I mean, our little programs are working. I mean,
Yeah,
people are.
yeah, that's, I
People
thought,
wanted a way to help out, and they're
And it's
doing it.
working.
Yeah.
all right. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item A 3.8. Do you want to take that one?
Yes, this is, the staff recommends we approve the purchase of subscription to Law Enforcement Policy Manual and Daily Training Bulletin Service from Lexipol in the amount of $23,246.
Second.
Wait, there's more.
There's more.
There's also a one-time implementation fee of $13,110 to review and update our current policies. And Lexipol is offering a 10% discount on the implementation fee, which would bring the cost down to $11,799 if the agreement is reached before September 30th, 2016.
Okay.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Alderman Miller has a question.
Hi, Deputy Chief. I think this is a great idea. Can you talk about implementation? So, I mean, are you imagining that, I don't know if you're going to be watching this every day, and then how's it going to get disseminated through all the officers, et cetera? Like,
Sure. Good evening, Committee Chair and Deputy City Manager. Having Lexipol, they're unique in the sense that they help us keep up to date with our policies and our law updates that are generated by not only statutory requirement but case law. These policies have to be changed rather frequently with the way the law changes and the interpretation by the courts. So it's an internet-based system. They also have a mobile app. So moving forward allows us to be greener, but also more efficient with the officers that are going to be utilizing the system. And when they log in, it'll track if that officer properly reviewed the policy, so they get checked off on that, and then they'll also check off on proper training of that policy and/or case law that may apply to it. So it allows for just better due diligence on our part in making sure that officers are compliant with the policy and the law, and that we can account for proper transparency and compliance with everything that needs to be regarding the policy and the case law. I just think it's a great approach for us to maintain our policies in a timely fashion so they don't get outdated, and they're maintained, and they do these updates twice a year. So officers would be required to log on and make sure that they're constantly up to date.
Great. No, that's what I was wondering. It sounds great. Thanks.
Any other questions?
Any other questions? Okay, seeing none.
Thank you.
Thank you. All those in favor, please, for passing item 3.8, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, Alderman Miller, would like to take item 3.9?
Sure. Move approval of a 2-year contract with Third Millennium Associates for the printing, mailing, and fulfillment services for wheel tax renewals. It's in the amount of $37,000. It also comes with 2 one-year renewal options.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Questions? Comments? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay. Item 8.4, we have 2 speakers along with a request from Alderman Miller to hold. So I think Wilson, pardon me.
Wilson.
So we'll take the 2 speakers and then because if we do it opposite, then.
You can't do it, yeah.
Can we find out
Yeah.
what the deal is here?
Alderman Wilson, and then followed by, Dan Kelch, followed by Alderman Wilson.
Hi, thank you. I'm Dan Kelch. I own Lulu's Restaurant, Taco Diablo, 5 and Dime.
Point of order, just a minute. Could you at least read the items so people in
Yes.
television land know what people are complaining
Yes,
about?
yes.
if it's important?
So who's up? Or item 8.4, which is Resolution 63R16, lease agreements with United States Postal Services for parking in the city parking garage at 1800 Maple Avenue and city parking lot 25, located at 1612 to 1616 Maple Avenue.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
So we are asking that some editing or modification be held to this resolution. We obviously have no problem with them parking in the parking garages, but you are seeing a lot of development happening on that west end of Davis and Church. And we feel that the use of that lot, there's better ways to use that land than to let trucks park there all night long. You're looking at a lot of restaurant development. Some of you know what I've talked with you about, things that we're trying to do with the other building that we have over there. You've got Amy, Smiley's, you've got even more restaurants are coming online. So that block is seeing a lot of very active development, drawing a lot of people. And we would like to have a discussion with the city on other options that could be held for Lot 25 and better utilization of that facility. So I don't know if you can amend and go forward with the Maple Avenue, the Maple parking garage thing, but we would request and somehow like to have that part of this resolution held back for discussion with your business community on that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Alderman Wilson.
And thank you very much, Don Wilson. Appreciate the time. Mr. Kelch kind of covered, I guess, broad strokes, what we're really concerned about here. We have some excellent developed businesses, some that are coming online imminently, and a little bit of, as I guess we'll call them, growing pains. I think before we go ahead and enter into this agreement, we should have the staff take a look at, globally what the parking situations look like, make sure that we're best utilizing the spaces, make sure that we're best utilizing the lots. In addition to the actual lots and parking spaces on the streets themselves, with the success of the businesses, we are having the parking kind of pushing out into the neighborhoods, which is causing some stress on the neighbors and residents as well. So I would just request that the committee hold this for a brief period of time. I think the lease runs until November, so that should give the staff plenty of time to present some options and possible modifications.
I see a question from Miller, but I guess my request, and then from Alderman Holmes, would you like it to be held over with staff to come back? Would you like for us to make a referral, staff to come back to this committee, or are you going to wait to take it off and address it?
I think I'd like to have staff bring it back to the committee so that you all can, flesh it out and make sure that it's the direction the committee wants to go.
Okay, we'll take that.
Okay.
Alderman Miller,
So
followed by
appreciate that
Alderman
consideration.
Holmes, and then
Just for clarification, I mean, there's 2 leases basically. There's a ground lease and then the parking garage. I mean, it sounds like just the ground lease is the questionable one. Do you have any problem with the parking garage?
I don't. I just wonder if the post office might reconsider what their plans are if we're going to hold the one. So I didn't want to, kind of force them into one if we're not going forward with the entire deal.
I think
So-
that's a good idea.
yeah, to address them both, I would agree. Okay.
Okay. Thank you for the consideration.
Thank you.
So
Thank you.
move to hold.
Alderman Holmes.
Oh, unless you want to discuss.
I was just asking in terms of, so if we're going to bring back committee, then it'll be at the next council meeting?
Well, I think it would depend on how long it takes for staff to come back with the request.
Well, I don't know, I'm just asking.
I'm
Don't-
sorry.
I think there's some time things involved, if I'm not mistaken, so,
I'm seeing staff nodding at me that would be enough time.
yeah.
Yes?
That's what.
Enough time.
Yes.
There's your answer.
Nodding. Next council meeting would be,
Yes.
okay.
Okay, that's what I thought.
approval by motion, so it'd be brought in and approved same night.
So we'll hold it, and then when we see it again on the agenda, just for clarification, will be for action, introduction and action.
That's correct, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. All right.
Thanks.
Someone like to move to hold?
Move to hold.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to hold item A4, and the next date will be October.
What? I don't know the date, I don't have it in front of me.
It's 11th. Attorney Farrar,
Pulling it up.
October 11th?
You can just, there's a calendar, right?
Is that a holiday? Isn't that a holiday?
I'm looking it up.
Oh, okay. Is it a holiday?
It's Columbus Day.
Okay. I don't know.
Should ask the mayor, I guess. All right,
If it's
so
already scheduled,
until, for those of you that are paying attention in TV land, until, unless it's been changed, we'll hold this item over till October 10th.
Right.
The first meeting or the first meeting in October, whichever one comes first, folks.
Right.
I think we've covered it. All right, are there any other items for discussion? Items for communication? Is there a motion to adjourn?
Move adjournment.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
The meeting is adjourned. Thank you very much.
And AP&W will start.
Our next meeting will be AP&W, and that'll start at, B&D, and that'll start at 7:15.